can see a couple of targets for the SU-25s. And we can pop them. Beautiful. Hello guys, and welcome to episode 4 of my Bruderkrieg campaign in WARNO, playing on the PACT side. Previously, we were set up to take on the Panzer Battalion 144, so that's what we're going to be starting to do today. Let's go ahead and select the 2nd and 3rd Battalion of the Mordschützen Regiment. We'll bring in some artillery support, most likely the 1st tier of the Artillery Regiment 4. And then we'll of course bring in those SU-25s that I teased before. Let's tactical battle and we'll jump on in. We'll get straight into the gameplay today as we try to use these beautiful SU-25s to annihilate this Panzer Battalion. The push on these sectors is actually going to be relatively difficult out in the open, but I can secure Anna by heading down this tree line with my infantry, and we can of course get into center early on. So let's start off by bringing in a bunch of Mordschützen. We can bring in the Mordschützenführer, and yeah, I can just stack this actually quite heavily on this side. So we just put them all on the road here and give them an order just to head into the tree line. Don't have to worry about any aircraft from them or anything like that, so yeah, no worries whatsoever really. Let's go ahead and bring in some Falcons, and we'll go ahead and pop them into a few buildings. I could do a line of tanks in the center, but it's kind of unnecessary. I am going to need recon. Let me just check the artillery unit. We'll use the recon from that because we're unlikely to use this regiment too much for actual combat purposes in the future. But making sure I have plenty of recon in position is going to be super important for actually spotting these tanks and killing them with the SU-25s. I'm going to bring in an SPW just to make sure we got this capped. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in a bunch of these T-55s with the Bastion missile to defend the center. We're not going to be like aggressive with them, we're just going to use them to defend. We can bring up an SPW and the Mortarfladder in the BMP-1. We'll get that unloaded. And we have 33 points left. I'm very tempted to just make sure that I have a full contingent of SU-25s ready to go. So let's go ahead and buy all of these in. We will have to be a bit careful about their limited AA. They will have some Leopards. So those we're going to have to keep an eye on. But otherwise, I think we're more or less good to go. I could also bring some AT guns in for the center. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Just to make sure that we have things covered. And some more Aftada, never hurt anyone. Loads of recon everywhere. Anywhere where I have like a bunch of troops, I should be bringing in some recon with them. Otherwise they're just going to be blind. Let's get this underway. My Mordschützenführer needs to come with me, of course. The biggest threat here is just them actually winning by conquest points. I'm going to want to win by morale victory. Just destroy as many tanks as possible. I'm going to start walking some of my infantry forwards. Try and get some eyes on enemy forces so that we can bring our SU-25s out to play. We'll keep the SPW-70s here. We can use them to support against any infantry that doesn't have AT. Yeah, otherwise, the Mordschützen And sweep through the forest here. Head up into Anna. Escort the Muchas and Fiora into position. And we go from there. At the moment, we haven't actually seen a single tank. I am going to get my SU-25s to hang about, just so they're ready to go. And my wall of recon can continue forwards, slowly but surely, making ground. I'll also, of course, bring up my infantry units. It's always cool hearing them in the background. SU-25s are really loud. Just a matter of patience, really. I'm tempted to speed up the game, but I feel like what will happen if I do that is my units will get caught out. Whereas here we can see a couple of targets for the SU-25s, and we can pop them. Beautiful. Let's have one go for that one and one go for the far one. Good. We don't have any AA firing at us yet, so that's something. There is a Fliegerfaust though. That is going to have to go. Meanwhile, let's bring up some Mudschützen here that can move into the town here and help clean out some of these Fliegerfaust. I could actually just send the SBWs over here. There's nothing really to stop them. We just drive the... We have that kill the Leopard. The SBWs just run over there and mow down those units. It's all good. Nice. Killed that before they unloaded as well. Perfect. It may also be worth me moving up a leader on the right, but again, I don't want to win by conquest victory, I want to win by morale victory. I just need to stop the bleed here. Oh, the Alpha actually hit like every shot there. Make sure we kill this leopard on the side. Oh, that is a Gepard. That is a Gepard. Please stop shooting at my SU-25 and shoot at the other one, please. Yeah, I brought it over just to kind of make sure they shoot that instead. We're getting there though. And it's only 42 morale left. The SBWs have cleaned out the Fliegerfaust there. Just a matter of continuing to move forwards. The recon here. Find things to shoot at. I will need to take out their recon. I also kind of need more recon on the right side here. Good, nice strafe. More leopards here. Make sure the much of the Führer stays back. Very nice. And the Avocado got spotted. I'm hoping that I'm able to strafe this to death. Not much I'm going to be able to do to save that. Good. And this SPW can actually kill the Gepard, so I might as well do that. Absolutely mince it. Yeah, let's make sure that we can kill that. Another Gepard on this side though. Alright, well, we're chilling then. Oh, the leopards come back. A different leopard? There's a different leopard. They've only got 10 points left. And it seems as though they are quite content on pushing up on this right hand side. So I need to get eyes. I do not have at the moment. Muskschützenführer, or just like the standard Muskschützen here, might see it. It's fine. We're gonna have to leave. Bring in a couple more. That's all the kills we need on that right hand side. Just need my Muskschützenführer to spot them. I don't know why I keep calling it a Führer, it's just Muskschützen BTRs because I keep looking at the brackets and thinking it's a leader. That's a leader down. Go pop this one and then maybe pop the one behind it. Unless it misses. It's sad. Oh, we can take that one out. There we go. Boom. SU-25s. Absolutely obliterating those tanks. 72 kills, 2 losses. Just a couple of Avocado, unfortunately, getting caught out. But otherwise, pretty clean battle. And we'll see what that does. Well, that leaves them on such low strength. That is ridiculous. Well, what we can do is actually kill that unit completely. I'm not going to attack it with these two. But we can cut them off. And we can start to put pressure onto the artillery and the AA on the backside here. I think what I can do is move up with this unit and make the attack with just that unit. And it should just destroy them. Yeah, okay, there we go. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and move around here with the 2nd Battalion of the Muskschützen Regiment. And it may be worth me having this one zoom all the way to this bottom side. I don't think that's gonna cut off this little pocket. That's okay. Also, yeah, I'm tempted to keep pushing up here, but there's really no need, right? I'm only doing this kind of for the sake of it. I think we just kind of keep it on this road, moving forward slowly but surely, so that they can reinforce each other. I think that's more important. I will bring an artillery unit over here, so let's go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, let's just put this unit on the left. Make sure we screen our cubs. And the Alpha Battalion, we can have that sit in the mid for sure. And this one's of course coming with us down the center. I'm not going to make any attacks on the top side here. Seems unnecessary. I am tempted to move this one away, but having them all next to each other is important so that they can defend each other should one get attacked. But all the movement's done elsewhere. This unit is a little bit vulnerable on its own. Maybe I actually move this one down here. We'll do that. We'll have the 1st and 1st and 3rd Battalion of the Manchester Regiment 23 hanging out. Okay, let's move on to the next turn. Will they attack us? Let's find out. We're still holding on to the objective, so the onus is on the AI to actually make attacks here onto Ausfeld. As soon as I move that unit down, they're starting to flank on the top side. Right, they didn't actually attack this turn, probably because of fatigue. But I can't ignore this unit putting pressure on my rocket artillery. So it looks like I'm probably going to have to attack the Panzer Battalion here. And to be honest, it's just a weakened Panzer Battalion with pretty much no Leopards left. I'm probably just going to auto-resolve it. If I can. I mean, it says it's going to be a draw with just those 2 units. I don't really want to commit my rocket artillery. In terms of aircraft, what can I do? Engaging with the MiGs is fine. And that's going to be a total victory. I think we just do that. So we lost 2 infantry. That's absolutely fine by me. Be similar to if I were to play it out regardless. And then shifting this unit over here is a good idea. I'm going to shift both of these over to cover our right flank of Ausfeld. I think I do move this unit in the way over here to stop the encirclement of Ausfeld. If I engage once again like this. Maybe we could auto resolve for a major victory. I don't want to get this unit in the front involved because it will bring our fatigue up quite a lot. Then again, it will only be at 4 fatigue. Yeah, let's just auto resolve that. Make sure we destroy that unit. Good. Yeah. On the defensive, having 4 fatigue is not terrible, unless they attack us twice, in which case we're screwed. But for now, let's go ahead and move up the helicopters here. They're almost in range to help in an attack, so that's good. Meanwhile, let's just make sure we cut this off, and then we continue down on this side. I don't want to like overextend. We're just going to make sure that we have enough action points to reinforce one another if needs be. It looks like that artillery unit got caught in the Order Resolve. There's a bunch more units here. I definitely kind of need a unit in between. This is a big salient that we might get cut off. But yeah, these units are the ones I'm worried about. This Panzer Battalion with the Leopard 1A5s and then the Panzergrands. I mean, if they're able to bump into my units here, like the Mushitson BTR with the 18 penetration RPG will be able to get through the armor of the Leopard 1A5s. It's just if we're in an open map, those Leopards will have the range advantage, which would be tough to deal with. But we're getting close to victory, 43 out of 60 points. We'll move next turn and see what happens. They've got to make an attack, surely. They have enough units here to make a proper attack. Okay, here we go. So we of course reinforce with the 2nd Armoured. We bring in the artillery. We bring in pioneers. And we bring in the aircraft. This is pretty much an all-in if I do this. Maybe I don't need to bring in the pioneer unit because we're going to have all of the rockets from this artillery anyway. Instead we bring in, yeah, we'll bring in the leader here as a secondary as opposed to the pioneers, because then the pioneers can be rocket backup for any other defense we have to make. This is going to be an interesting battle. Let's tactical battle and we'll jump on in. We do have our lovely urban defense. You see the time of day is different to the last time that we played on this map. Each map does have multiple, what they're called ambience settings, basically different times of day. So yeah, looking very different to before. But very cool map this. Panzer Battalion 141 getting involved with Panzergren Battalion, Sicherungs Battalion, and the Artillery Battalion. So I am going to have to worry about counter battery when it comes to using my rockets, but otherwise it's just a matter of using a lot of AT guns once again. We should be able to get plenty of these AT guns into good positions to ambush in the town here. Like we can put a bunch on this left side, for example, in this tree line. I guess they are going to be pretty vulnerable to artillery, but we'll see how it goes. Let's just bring a couple on the far left here as well. If I have 8 gems, I should pop them in the high rises. I wonder how many I have. Not that many. So these are both Panzer battalions, so they're both using plenty of tanks, which is fine at close range. The main reason I brought both tank units is just for pure availability. In the Wach company, let's bring in the Mushitson Metis. We'll use them in the high rises. Yeah, on this side, let's just plaster the edge of the town with units. And then anything that comes down these roads will just get blasted by 8 gems there. And we can do the same on the right with these Mushitson Metis. We can do it in these buildings though. And then we definitely need a couple Euros. Because otherwise we run out of ammo. So I'll try and park one behind the building here, and we'll try and park one in the cover. The other thing I need to consider is recon, so let's just go ahead and set that up quick. We can do that using the artillery unit. They should have plenty of recon available, although I think I've used it multiple times before. They might not have that much left. But I will pop one into the church. We'll pop one, let's see, into this high-rise with the Metis squad. I'll put one behind as well, because it'll have slightly different line of sight. There is a building here we can put a recon in. And then we need recon for the center, so that I can place a couple of AT guns here.
An dieser Position abgesessene Kampfweise.
And then we can maybe have a couple further back as well, just in case. Kind of like a second line of defense. Bit of defense in depth. We already did that tree line. Trying to look for other opportunities where we can place down some AT guns, because they'd be really good at knocking out these tanks, which are probably going to be spammed towards us before anything else. Loads of these conkers. En masse, those are going to be pretty good at just like taking on the leopards at a distance, to be honest. Otherwise, it's just a matter of spreading out more Mutchison, I think. So let's go ahead and do that now. We should have enough Mutchison in both of these units. Okay, and we can do the last lot for the right side here. I'm just pressing tab and then pressing Y, which is unload at position, in order to scroll through the units and give them orders like that, if anybody is wondering. It is a question I get asked quite a lot. Let's go ahead and launch. We do of course have aircraft up our sleeve. I maybe should have actually deployed a FOB at the start, so that we could have used that for the rocket artillery, but it really depends. I think this battle will last quite a while. Oh, I did forget my leaders. Oops. Oh well. We should have time to get those into position. I paused it by accident. It's like, why did everything stop? Trying to mess with the speed controls. We want fast infantry leaders and stuff to come up here and cap this. Nice. Here we go, the Metis squad's firing away. And yeah, I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Failed this.
Sicherung einsatzbereit. Lade Hugo. Ummunitionieren im Bereitschaftsbunker. Feind vernichtet.
This looks like a job for the cluster.
Und noch einen Leichensack.
Although because we're firing in 8 gems from all different directions, it's actually been quite effective.
Gegen Faschismus und Militarismus.
Right, with my next bunch of reinforcements, we just bring in a bunch of rockets and we start using them for counter battery.
Meldet Ziel zerstört. Ende. Aufgefangen. Sanitäter! Panzer eingesetzt. Feind vernichtet.
Just awesome ambushes. There's a lot of artillery that the AI is using.
Es hat mich erwischt, verdammt!
So we've got to kind of pay attention to where that's coming from. Could, in theory, click the counter battery button to do this.
Und noch einen Leichensack. Feindkontakt!
The nice thing about the counter battery button is it kind of remembers for you where enemy artillery is. There we go, like that. So you can press it, then give a manual order afterwards. It's kind of a nice way to do it. I'm actually just going to fire the rest of them over there. That's good kills onto the enemy artillery there. It looks like me defending further back is working pretty well. Also, since supply doesn't cost anything, I should make sure I'm bringing it in. Got these poor leopards getting absolutely toasted by all of the ATGM ambushes. Unfortunately, my supply vehicles are getting popped, which is not something I really want at all. What I might do though, kind of tempted to move these AT guns over to the right and shoot through the middle of the buildings. Click the counter battery button. Let them do their thing. I really need some like standard Mutschützen over here because this Jaguar is just roaming around amongst my troops because I don't have anything that can actually engage at a close range. I could also just bring over some tanks. Yeah, let's start bringing up some tanks. There's a lot of leopards. The other thing to do is to bring in my aircraft. We do of course have plenty of AT planes to use. Very nice.
schon unterwegs. Für 2 Arten von Menschen. Artilleristen und Ziele. Hier Boris 1.
Well, they have 152 morale remaining. There is stuff creeping around my right flank. I don't like that. Bring up some tanks there.
Melde Ziel zerstört. Ende. Hafer! Gefechtsgeschwindigkeit! Volltreffer. Ziel zerstört.
Another Euro went down. I really shouldn't be wasting these. As soon as they are done, like this one, we need to just tell it to leave. Oh, the AT gun at close range. Oh, I missed. No! Okay, saved by the Metis. Oh, now my Afghan are getting spotted by the Green Archer.
Der ging fast durch. Wo brauchen Sie unsere Feuerkraft? Jetzt aber schnell. Hier Boris 1. Feind erkannt. Für 2 Arten von Menschen. Artilleristen und Ziele. Alles innerhalb von 50 Metern ist ein Volltreffer.
Nice. Alright, my Afghana should be able to stay there now.
Hier Corona 4. Waffensysteme scharf und in der Luft. Ende. Verstanden. Aufführen und fertig. In 3 Tagen sind wir am Rhein. Hier Corona. Ziel zerstört.
Are they here again?
Freund und Feind nicht viel.
Let me just cancel that and do counter battery order.
Sammeln. Befehlsausgabe. Hier Boris 1.
Bring up some pioneers over here.
Melde Ziel zerstört. Ende. Aber für noch eine Frage ist es aus.
Get the last of my Urals on that side as well.
Ende. Für 2 Arten von Menschen. Artilleristen und Ziele. Wiederhole. Wirkung im Ziel. Hier Boris 1. Feind erkannt. Scheiße. Uns hat's erwischt. 9. Einsatzraum.
Right, let's just move these. Make sure they move after they fire every single time. I did have a question before. I was like, why don't I use counter battery more often?
Zerstört. Ende.
And the main reason that I don't usually use counter battery, especially for like tube artillery, is because you make yourself vulnerable to counter battery. Like if you're firing at them, they know where you are, so they will fire back. And if you're not microing the movement in between shots, then you lose artillery units. So it's very easy for people to select counter battery and then forget about their artillery, and then they come back and look at them like 2 or 3 minutes later and realize they're all dead because the enemy ended up counter battering them because they weren't moving the units in between. That's why I always like to do it manually. But 152 kills, 16 losses, not bad at all. What did we actually end up losing? A few Metis squads, half color, 2 half color, 200 or 300 mils. But we killed so many leopards once again. Very nice. We fended them off. The Sittardung's battalion is actually disorganized. We can't counter battery though, or counter attack. Just because there's that unit behind. Also, yeah, I'm really not a fan of us being cut off here, so let's move up. Move back up here. Move the one that's furthest away, all the way back. Good. And I'm going to try and spread out down here a little bit. In theory, I could have just like drove over here, connected those salients. That sort of works. Okay, let's move on to the next turn. I'm not going to make any attacks. We'll let them do their thing. Might get attacked by the Panzergrenadier Battalion 132. If they have artillery support, they might go for it. This Panzer Battalion moving in on our flank there. Let's just keep shifting back to Trutzen so that we are in a better position. And Schwalmstadt. We can defend from here if they come at us. Meanwhile, this unit how is that going to be a minor victory? I guess because they're backed up by artillery. All we really need to do is just kind of shift back towards the artillery. While I use this to cut off the side. Oh. Let's see if they attack us next turn. They should go for Auersfeld. We're getting very, very close to the end of the campaign. Because we got 4 points this turn, that means it's 2 more turns. Although, it's currently 12 out of 12 on the turns. So let's go next turn. And again, see if they attack us. I would like to get use out of the helicopters, so I'm going to move the helicopters into the middle of Auersfeld, so that they are ready to help defend here. Surely they attack us. If they don't, then we just win.
Comrade General, the deadline to achieve our objectives has expired. The Comrade General Major Bauerlein will want to have a word.
Well, we were 59 out of 60, but we managed to make it happen.
Their losses have been substantial. With NATO forces disorganized, victory for the Warsaw Pact seems but assured. The Soviet offensive on Frankfurt has a better than ever chance of succeeding.
Alright, there we go. Total victory. It did give us a total victory after all. But yeah, interestingly enough, if I'd just taken the score instead of the SU-25s, we would have actually reached the 60 out of 60 on the previous turn. So yeah. The sacrifices I make for you guys to have a little fun. We didn't actually get to see the helicopters in battle, which is really sad. I'm yeah, kind of sad about that one. I guess I could have maybe forced the issue, but there you have it, guys. That is the end of the PACT side campaign for Bruderkrieg. Let's have a look at the casualty list. So, in terms of our losses, we lost 5% of our soldiers. Really not that many. 91 Mutschützen, 35 Mutschützen Medes, 40 Aufklärer, Fargo, Mott Aufklärer. Like, the recon teams are the ones that really suffered. We lost 14 BMP-1 SP2s and 9 T-55 AM2s. We didn't lose the SU-25s. We lost 1 MiG-21. The reason it says the SU-25s are losses is just because we had them for one turn and then they disappeared. And then support, we lost quite a lot of supply and some transports. But on the side of the AI, well, unacceptable losses. They almost lost, or they did lose, over 100 Leopards. That is a lot of losses. So exactly 106 Leopards were lost. 37 Recon Bradleys. 6 M1A1 ACAVs, 36 M1A1s and an M1A1 Abrams CP. It's a lot of tanks. We shot down a ton of aircraft. All of their men got absolutely minced. Loads of Sigerungs and Heimats getting taken out. Those poor reserve infantry being pushed into the front line. Panzergrens getting taken out. Took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battalions. It did say that we lost a battalion, but this is the SU-25s, which we didn't technically lose. A lot of their support died, but yeah, 61% of their tanks destroyed. Incredible. All right, well, that's it for the campaigns for now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the Bruderkrieg campaign on both the NATO and PACT side. When the next campaign comes around, I'll make sure to play it on the channel. But until then, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.